Welcome to Soul Velocity. Today we're diving deep into a topic that will separate your habits from your destiny. The title is Why Your Morning Routine is Killing Your Productivity. And I've broken this journey down into 10 powerful parts, each one built to challenge, stretch, and grow you. So buckle up, let's begin with part 1. You wake up and grab your phone because you want to feel connected, but instead you let the world's chaos write the first lines of your day. You scroll for just a minute. You say, but that minute is enough to steal your focus before your feet even touch the floor. And you don't realize that your morning routine is setting the stage for a day of distraction, for a day of reacting instead of building. You think your morning routine is productive because you made your bed, you drank your water, you did your push-ups, but you can't understand why you still feel stuck, why you're not moving forward, why your dreams feel distant. It's because you're doing what looks productive, not what moves the needle. You're trying to find motivation in habits that don't challenge you to step into your purpose. People tell you that having a morning routine is the key to success, but they don't tell you that the wrong routine will keep you in the same cycle of pretending to be busy, that it will have you wearing a badge of productivity while your goals sit untouched on the shelf of tomorrow. You need to stop performing your morning and start owning it. You need to start your day by deciding what your life is about, not by checking who liked your post or what message came in while you were asleep. You need to sit with your vision before you sit with the world. You need to take the first moments of your day to feed your mind with your future, not with someone else's noise. It's about replacing passive habits with intentional action, replacing mindless scrolling with mindful planning, replacing comfort with discipline. It's about deciding that your goals are more important than your comfort. It's about creating a morning that puts you in control, because if the morning controls you, the day will too. You're closer than you think to changing your life, but it starts with changing your morning. It starts with asking yourself every morning, what am I building today? Who am I becoming today? What am I willing to sacrifice today for the life I say I want? And it starts with answering those questions with your actions, not your intentions. Because the truth is, your morning routine is not supposed to feel easy. It's supposed to feel like you're choosing your future over your present comfort. It's supposed to challenge you, to wake you up for real, not just physically, but mentally and spiritually. If you want to become unstoppable, you need to stop worshiping comfort and start respecting discipline. Your morning is your foundation, and if you build it on distractions and easy choices, your day will collapse under the weight of your excuses. Wake up and decide that your dreams matter more than your excuses. Wake up and move with purpose before the world's chaos moves you off track. Wake up and build your vision, step by step, moment by moment, before you let the world steal your energy. This is your time to take back your mornings, to take back your life, and to finally build momentum that doesn't fade by noon. Stop letting your morning routine kill your productivity and start letting it build your future. Part 2, your morning is the seed of your day. And if you plant confusion, you harvest chaos. If you plant hesitation, you harvest regret. If you plant discipline, you harvest momentum that builds and builds until your days stop feeling like survival and start feeling like you are living on purpose. Most people want to feel motivated in the morning, but motivation is like the weather. It changes without notice, and if you depend on it, you will live in inconsistency. You will work only when you feel like it. You will drift, and you will watch your goals fade while you convince yourself you'll start tomorrow. You do not need motivation to win. You need clarity. You need a reason that pulls you out of bed even when you are tired. You need a vision that is more powerful than your excuses. You need a decision that you will move even when your mind tells you to stay still, that you will fight even when comfort calls you back to bed, that you will build even when you feel empty. When you wake up, ask yourself, who do I want to become today? And what would that person do right now? Then do it, even if it feels uncomfortable, even if your mind tries to negotiate, even if your feelings argue, because success is built in the moment you decide to move forward without asking for permission from your comfort. Your morning routine should be built around your goals, not around trends. If you want to write, write. If you want to build a business, work on it before the world wakes up. If you want to improve your health, move your body before the excuses arrive. Do what matters first, so no matter what happens in the day, you already made progress toward the life you are building. Stop copying morning routines you see on the internet that are just another way to feel busy without creating real results. You don't need a 2-hour routine filled with activities that look productive but leave you empty. You need a morning that forces you to align your actions with your dreams, that makes you uncomfortable in a way that builds you, that moves you into a state of creation, not just consumption. The reason most people fail is that they lose their energy in the first hour of the day, giving it away to distractions, to other people's opinions, to social media, to fear. And by the time they want to work on their goals, they are empty. Protect your energy in the morning like your future depends on it, because it does. You are not behind. You are not stuck. You are not too late, but you will be if you keep giving your mornings to habits that drain you instead of habits that build you. Your future self is waiting for you to take responsibility, to step into discipline, to say, I will not waste another morning on things that don't matter. It will not be easy. It will not be comfortable, but it will be worth it, because every day you choose your future over your comfort, you get stronger, you get closer, you get clearer, and one day you will look back and realize that it was the mornings you took control of that built the life you always dreamed about. Your morning is your power. Use it. Part 3. The reason your mornings feel heavy is because you are starting your day carrying yesterday's doubts, yesterday's fears, and yesterday's failures into today. You wake up, and before your feet even hit the floor, your mind is already reminding you of everything you have not done, everything you have not fixed, everything you wish was different. And that weight makes you slow, makes you hesitant, makes you forget that today is a new opportunity to move forward. You need to learn to leave yesterday where it belongs, in the past, because you cannot build your future while your hands are full of your past regrets. The morning is your chance to reset, to remind yourself that you are not what happened to you. You are what you decide to do next. The moment you open your eyes, you have a choice to either replay the past or create your future. And the people who win in life are not the people who never fail, but the people who refuse to let their failures define them. Stop checking your phone first thing in the morning, giving away your energy to other people's lives, to notifications that can wait, to distractions that only remind you of everything you think you are missing. You are not born to live distracted. You were born to create, to build, to move forward, and your mornings are sacred. They are the foundation of your progress, the time when your mind is clear, when your willpower is strongest, when you can choose to focus on what matters before the world pulls you in 1,000 directions. If you want to transform your life, transform your mornings first. Use your mornings to feed your mind with what builds you, not what breaks you. Read something that challenges you. Write down what you are grateful for. Speak your goals out loud. Remind yourself of why you started, of who you are becoming, of what you are capable of, because your mind will believe what you tell it repeatedly. And if you keep telling it you are behind, that you are not good enough, that you are failing, it will believe that too. Your morning routine is not about perfection. It is about intention. It is about showing up for yourself, even when it is hard, especially when it is hard, because the days you do not feel like showing up are the days that matter most. Anyone can move when it is easy, but champions are built in the moments when it is hard, when it is uncomfortable, when it would be easier to quit, but you decide to show up anyway. It is time to stop letting your morning slip away. Time to stop living on autopilot, snoozing your alarm, rushing through your mornings, starting your day in a panic because you did not prepare, because you did not prioritize what matters. You deserve a life that you are proud of, and that life is built one morning at a time, one decision at a time, one small act of discipline at a time. Do not underestimate the power of small wins. Do not underestimate the power of choosing discipline over comfort in the first hour of your day, because that choice, repeated over time, is what separates people who wish for success from people who live it. You have the power to change your life, and it starts the moment you wake up. Part 4. The biggest lie you tell yourself in the morning is that you will find time later, that you will work on your goals after you finish everything else, that you will build your dream once you are done handling other people's demands. But the truth is, if you do not put yourself first, you will always come last in your own life. You need to understand that your morning is not just about waking up early. It is about waking up with purpose, about aligning your actions with your vision before the noise of the world drowns out your intentions. Because if you wake up and immediately give your time to the world, to social media, to distractions, you will live your day on other people's terms, not your own. Your goals are too important to be pushed to the end of the day when your energy is gone and your motivation is empty. You need to claim your morning as your sacred time, the time when you work on what matters most, the time when you build your foundation before the demands of the world start pulling you in every direction. Steve Harvey did not build his success by hoping for it, by wishing for it, by waiting for the perfect moment to start. He built it by using the time when no one was watching, when no one was applauding, when no one believed in him, to prepare, to build, to keep moving forward, when it would have been easier to quit. Your morning routine is killing your productivity if it is not moving you closer to your goals. If your routine is just a list of habits you do to feel productive without creating real progress, it is keeping you stuck. You need to evaluate your mornings and ask yourself, is this routine building me or just keeping me busy? Is this routine moving me forward or keeping me comfortable? Comfort is the enemy of growth. And if your morning is comfortable, it is likely not challenging you enough to create change. You need to create a morning routine that demands your attention, that requires your effort, that stretches you beyond your limits, because that is where growth happens. That is where discipline is built. That is where your dreams begin to take shape. Your future is built in the small moments when you choose discipline over comfort, focus over distraction, purpose over pleasure. Your morning is the perfect time to make those choices, to train your mind to do what is necessary, not what is easy, to teach yourself to prioritize your vision over your excuses. If you want to change your life, change your mornings. Stop using them to scroll, to complain, to wish for a different life, and start using them to create, to plan, to execute, to become the person who deserves the life you dream about. The world will always try to pull you away from your goals, but if you own your mornings, you will have the strength to stay focused, to stay disciplined, to stay committed, no matter what challenges come your way. Your morning is your opportunity to build the momentum you need to win your day. Do not waste it. Part 5. Most people think they need a perfect environment to take action. That the right morning requires the right mood, the right weather, the perfect mindset, the perfect energy. But the reality is that the people who win are the ones who take action, despite how they feel, who do what needs to be done before their minds have a chance to convince them to delay. If your morning routine is built around how you feel, it will fail you on the days when you need it the most. Because feelings are inconsistent, but discipline is reliable. And your routine should train you to act beyond your feelings, to move when it is uncomfortable, to keep promises to yourself, regardless of the excuses your mind tries to sell you. Your mornings are the training ground for your discipline, the place where you prove to yourself that you are serious about your goals, the time when you teach yourself that your dreams are more important than your comfort. Because if you can master your mornings, you can master your days. And if you can master your days, you will build a life that reflects your commitment. You need to start your morning with intention, with a clear plan, with a reason that is powerful enough to pull you out of bed and into action. Because without a clear purpose, your mind will always default to comfort, to ease, to habits that feel good in the moment, but steal your progress in the long term. Steve Harvey built his success on consistency, on showing up before the opportunities appeared, on preparing when no one was watching, on working when there was no guarantee of success, because he understood that waiting for the perfect moment was a trap, that the perfect moment is the moment you decide to move, to take action, to build momentum, regardless of your circumstances. Your morning routine is not about checking off a list of habits to feel productive. It is about aligning your actions with your goals, about prioritizing what matters, about creating space for the work that will move you forward, even if it is just one small step at a time, because those small steps add up to big changes when they are repeated consistently. If you want to change your life, you need to stop waiting to feel motivated and start building systems that ensure you take action every morning. Systems that remove decision fatigue, that automate the first steps of your day so that you do not rely on your willpower alone. Because willpower fades, but systems last. You need to create a morning environment that supports your goals, that limits distractions, that makes it easier to focus, to execute, to move into action, because your environment shapes your behavior. And if your environment is full of distractions, you will struggle to stay consistent. Take control of your mornings, take control of your environment, take control of your actions, and you will take control of your future. Your mornings are your responsibility, your chance to prove to yourself that you are committed to your goals, your chance to separate yourself from the excuses that have held you back for too long. You do not need a perfect morning, you need a committed one. You do not need motivation, you need discipline. You do not need to wait, you need to start. Your future depends on what you do every morning. Make it count. Part 6, your mornings are not just another part of your day. They are the compass that sets your direction before the chaos of the world tries to pull you off course. And if you do not take control of them, you will spend your day reacting instead of creating, following instead of leading, wishing instead of building. The reason so many people feel stuck is because they are living in reaction mode, letting notifications, opinions, and distractions dictate how they feel and what they do, and they do not realize that by giving away the first moments of their day to everything and everyone else, they are surrendering their power to build the life they truly want. Steve Harvey will tell you success is not for people who wait to feel ready. It is for people who move when they are tired, who take action when they are scared, who step forward when it will be easier to stay still. Because if you want to live a life of purpose, you have to be willing to act before you feel ready, to move before you feel confident, to create before you feel prepared. Your morning is the best time to practice this discipline, to remind yourself that you are in charge of your life, that you have the power to shape your reality, that you can choose your actions regardless of your emotions. And every time you take that step, you are building the mental toughness you will need to keep moving forward when challenges appear. You need to ask yourself what your mornings are truly creating, whether they are moving you closer to your goals or keeping you comfortable in routines that feel productive but leave you empty, because busyness is not progress, and you can spend your entire life being busy without ever building what you say you want. It is time to replace the habits that drain your energy with habits that build it, to stop giving your best hours to scrolling, worrying, and doubting, and to start giving those hours to reading, planning, creating, and executing, because you deserve to live a life that feels aligned with your vision, but that life is only possible if you are willing to pay the price of consistency. Your morning routine will either be the anchor that holds you back or the engine that propels you forward, and you get to decide which one it will be by choosing what you do when you wake up, by choosing who you listen to, by choosing what you focus on, because your choices shape your life more than your circumstances ever will. Do not underestimate the power of small decisions repeated daily, because it is not the big actions you take once in a while that change your life. It is the small, consistent actions you take every single day, especially in the mornings when your mind is clear, your energy is high, and your willpower is strong. Start your mornings with intention, with purpose, with a commitment to yourself that you will show up for your goals, that you will take one step forward, that you will not waste the precious time you have been given. Because the truth is, your mornings are a gift, an opportunity to build your future before the world distracts you with its noise. If you want to change your life, start by changing your mornings. And if you want to change your mornings, start by deciding that your goals are worth more than your excuses, that your vision is worth more than your comfort, that your dreams are worth more than your distractions. Your life is waiting on the other side of your discipline. Claim it. Part 7. You need to understand that your mornings are the testing ground for your commitment, the silent battlefield where your future is decided long before the world even knows your name. Because if you cannot win the fight with yourself in the quiet hours of the morning, you will struggle to win the battles that come when the noise of the day arrives. Most people lose the day before it starts because they do not protect their mornings. They do not create a plan. They do not move with intention. And instead, they let the demands of everyone else take priority over their own goals. And in doing so, they sacrifice the life they could have built for the comfort of staying the same. Steve Harvey's success was not built in the spotlight. It was built in the dark moments when he decided to keep moving, to keep preparing, to keep showing up, even when there was no guarantee, because he understood that faith without action is empty, that dreams without discipline are fantasies, and that your future is shaped by what you repeatedly choose to do, especially when it is hard. If you wake up and your first action is to look at your phone, to scroll through social media, to check your notifications, you are training your mind to consume before you create, to react before you build, to live by the agendas of others before you establish your own. And you cannot expect to live a life of purpose if you are not willing to claim the first moments of your day as yours. Your mornings are the chance to align your actions with your purpose, to feed your mind with what will strengthen you, to set your focus on what matters, to remind yourself that you are not here to live distracted, that you are here to live disciplined, that you are here to build, to grow, to contribute, to become who you were created to be. You need to stop believing that your mornings are insignificant, because the habits you practice in the morning are the habits that will shape your character, your focus, your consistency, and your momentum. And if you want to change your life, you need to start with the first hour of your day, because that is where your strength is built. If you are waiting to feel ready to change your mornings, you will be waiting for the rest of your life, because your mind will always prefer comfort over growth, will always choose easy over necessary, will always choose now over the future, unless you train it to do otherwise. And that training happens when you decide to act, even when you do not feel like it. Your dreams are waiting for you to stop negotiating with your excuses, to stop letting your comfort control your actions, to stop telling yourself that you will start tomorrow, because tomorrow is not promised. And every day you delay, you are giving away the life you could have built to the excuses you allowed to lead you. Your morning is not the time to delay. It is the time to execute, to act, to build, to prepare, to align, to focus, because it is in those quiet moments before the world wakes up that your future is created. One disciplined choice at a time, one intentional action at a time, one small win at a time. If you want to change your results, you have to change your habits. And if you want to change your habits, you need to start with your mornings, because that is where your power is. That is where your discipline grows. That is where your confidence is built. That is where you prove to yourself that your goals matter more than your excuses. Your future starts the moment you decide to take your mornings seriously. Make that decision today. Part 8. If you want to change your life, you need to understand that your mornings are not about discipline alone. They are about identity. Because every time you choose to act on your goals before the world distracts you, you are proving to yourself that you are the kind of person who keeps promises to themselves, who values growth over comfort, who takes action even when it will be easier to delay. Most people fail to keep their momentum, not because they lack ambition, but because they keep trying to change their lives with the same mindset that built their current reality. And until you shift your identity from someone who waits for the right time to someone who creates the right time, your mornings will remain a cycle of false starts and broken commitments. Steve Harvey did not wait for someone to give him permission to pursue his dreams. He claimed his mornings as his training ground, as his preparation, as the place where he would build the skills, the mindset, and the faith required to step onto every stage that was waiting for him. And you must decide to claim your mornings in the same way if you want to step into your next level. Your morning is where you decide what kind of day you will have, what kind of progress you will create, what kind of person you will become. And you do not need to have everything figured out to start. You just need to decide that your goals deserve your focus before the world demands your attention. Stop believing that you need elaborate rituals to be productive in the morning, because true productivity comes from clarity, from knowing what matters most, from eliminating the distractions that keep you busy but broke, occupied but stagnant. And you will find that when you focus on your highest priorities first thing in the morning, your confidence and momentum will grow. You will not always feel like doing the work, but your feelings are not the compass for your future. Your choices are. And every time you act despite your feelings, you are training yourself to be stronger than your excuses, to be greater than your doubts, to be aligned with your purpose instead of your comfort. If you continue to allow your mornings to slip into distractions, into comfort, into activities that do not move you closer to your vision, you will continue to feel frustrated by the gap between where you are and where you want to be. But the gap is not closed by wishing. It is closed by action, by discipline, by showing up when it is hard, by moving when it is uncomfortable. Your mornings should not be a race against the clock. They should be a moment of alignment, a moment of intention, a moment where you remind yourself why you started, who you are becoming, and what you are building, because that reminder will carry you through the challenges of the day with clarity and strength. You owe it to yourself to stop wasting your mornings, to stop living in cycles of distraction and regret, to stop pushing your dreams to the end of the day when your energy is gone, and to start giving your goals the best of you, the focused you, the committed you, the disciplined you, because your dreams deserve that version of you. This is your time to reclaim your mornings, to reclaim your discipline, to reclaim your future. And it starts with one decision, that you will no longer let comfort rob you of your potential. Part 9. There will be days when the alarm goes off and everything in you will want to stay in bed, when the comfort of the sheets will feel heavier than your dreams, when the voice in your head will whisper that you can start tomorrow. But if you want to build a life that is different from the one you have now, you have to learn to move anyway. You have to understand that comfort is seductive, but it is also a thief. And every morning you choose comfort over discipline. You are allowing your dreams to slip further away. You are letting your potential stay dormant, and you are telling yourself that your goals are not worth the inconvenience of discomfort. Steve Harvey will tell you that success does not happen when you feel like it. It happens when you decide that you will no longer be controlled by how you feel, that you will act because it is necessary, that you will show up because your future demands it, that you will take that step forward even if it is small, because every step builds momentum. Your mornings are where you prove to yourself who you are and who you are becoming, where you silence the excuses, where you train your mind to follow your decisions, not your feelings, where you decide that you will no longer live reactive, letting the world dictate your pace, but proactive, moving with intention toward your vision. You need to protect your mornings like your future depends on it, because it does, and you need to decide what matters most and give it your first and best energy, not what is left over after distractions have drained you. Because if you give your mornings to mindless scrolling, you will live your days scattered and unfocused. Your goals are too important to be postponed, too valuable to be delayed, too significant to be ignored. And if you want to live the life you keep saying you want, you need to align your actions with your words. You need to back your dreams with discipline, and you need to stop waiting for motivation to lead you, because it rarely will. Your mornings should not be rushed, chaotic, or reactive. They should be intentional, focused, and aligned. A time where you connect with your purpose, where you remind yourself why you are here, where you speak your vision into existence, where you take action, even when no one is watching, because that is how you build confidence that is unshakable. You will never regret the mornings you spend building your future, but you will regret the mornings you waste scrolling, complaining, and delaying, because every day is a chance you do not get back, and your future self will thank you for every disciplined choice you make today. This is your reminder that you do not need to overhaul your entire life overnight. You just need to win your mornings, to claim the first moments of your day, to take small, consistent actions that align with your purpose, because small steps taken consistently will always outperform big steps taken occasionally. Your potential is waiting for you to take ownership of your mornings, to claim your time, to build your habits, to strengthen your discipline, to show up for yourself before you show up for the world. Because you cannot pour into others if you are empty, and your mornings are how you fill yourself with purpose, clarity, and strength. Part 10, if you want to build a life that reflects your vision, your discipline, and your faith, you have to start by owning your mornings, because the way you begin your day will shape how you carry yourself, how you make decisions, how you respond to challenges, and how you protect the energy you need to keep going when it is hard. You need to stop telling yourself that your mornings are too busy, too chaotic, too unpredictable, because those are just stories your comfort is using to keep you from your growth. And the truth is, you always have a choice, even if it is just 5 minutes of silence, 5 minutes of gratitude, 5 minutes of planning your day with intention instead of allowing the noise to decide your focus. Steve Harvey will tell you that nothing worth having will come without sacrifice. That if you want the future you say you want, you have to be willing to give up the habits that are keeping you where you are, to trade your excuses for discipline, your distractions for focus, your comfort for consistency, because you cannot keep living the same way and expect a different result. You have to recognize that your mornings are your mirror, showing you who you are choosing to be when no one else is looking. And if you want to live as someone who keeps promises to themselves, who shows up for their dreams, who refuses to let comfort win, you have to practice that identity when it is quiet, when it is hard, when it would be easy to go back to sleep. Your mornings are your time to set your intention, to align your actions with your purpose, to remind yourself of what you are building, why you are building it, and who you need to become to sustain it. Because if you do not take that time, the world will pull you in every direction except the one you need to go. If you want to stop living reactive, you need to take back your mornings, to stop letting your phone decide your priorities, to stop letting other people's urgency dictate your focus, to stop letting fear of missing out rob you of the quiet, focused time you need to create your future, because your mornings are your sanctuary, your place to build the mindset and momentum you need to lead your life. Every day you wake up is a gift, an opportunity to build, to grow, to contribute, to align, to step into your next level. And you cannot afford to waste that gift on habits that drain you, on choices that weaken you, on excuses that keep you small, because your life is too valuable, your calling is too important, and your time is too precious. You need to see your mornings as the training ground for your discipline, the proving ground for your consistency, the quiet space where you sharpen your focus, strengthen your faith, and anchor yourself in gratitude, because that is how you build the resilience you need to keep moving when it is hard, to keep showing up when it is quiet, to keep believing when it is dark. If you take nothing else from this, remember this: your mornings are not about perfection. They are about intention, about showing up for yourself, about taking one step toward your goals before the world can distract you, about practicing discipline when no one is watching, because that discipline will become your strength, that strength will become your confidence, and that confidence will carry you through every challenge you will face. Start tomorrow. Wake up with gratitude. Claim your morning. Move with intention. Act with discipline. Align with your purpose. Build your future one morning at a time, because the truth is, your morning routine is not killing your productivity. Your excuses are.